Hey, Junior.
Hey Ben, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Good to see your beautiful face.
Why, thank you. I gave it a shave here a couple days ago.
Uh-huh.
Trying to.
You look more youthful every time I see you.
All right, I like that. I like that. I could suggest a razor for type of razor for you if you'd like.
You bet. You bet. Hey, so you're up in Juneau, Alaska.
Yes, the
How's
capital.
it how's it up there?
It's good. It's a kind of a bleak day today, but we're getting the snow's melted and we've got some warm weather on the way. I think the golf course opens this Friday. Things are, a little sunshine, a couple days a week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sunshine's good. Well, hopefully you're
So
not too busy with work that you might be able to squeeze in a round or two.
yes, things have slowed down just a touch, but this online stuff's really it's demanding. It's a lot more challenging than a lot of people expected. I think.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing you've got the gumption.
Hey, you got to do it.
Well, hey, thanks for coming on the program. It's called Artists and the Art That They Live With.
All
And
right,
you are an artist. And I bet you do
right.
have some art in your house.
I do.
So, yeah. So, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I have an old oil painting that wouldn't be considered extremely valuable because I don't know who the actual painter was, but it happened in the mid 1800s, is what it says on the back of it. It was done with a knife, and pretty thick paint on it, which is kind of a style that I like. Um, and it's basically a guy kind of sitting in a bar having a cigarette. Looks like kind of the end of the day, just kind of relaxing. Uh, yeah, I've lived with it for since 2003, and I found this particular painting at a pawn shop in Montana, in Helena, Montana, when I was had a fellowship at the Archie Bray, and I eyeballed this and went in, and at the time, for being at a pawn shop and being kind of a you know uh, right fresh out of grad school, I was a little kind of curious. The price of the painting, I think at the time, was like $300 or $400, and I was like, wow, that's a lot to spend on something that you don't really know the artist, and you know it's something for you only, right? And but I went down there a lot, and I knew that the painting wasn't going anywhere. And finally, I think I bought it for $300, but I think I just brought the lady $100 every once in a while. Finally, she gave it to me for $300 because I was the only person that was looking at it. So, but it's a really nice painting, and people have liked it inside my house for years. People always comment on it or whatever. So, kind of hangs over a little bar area, stereo underneath it, and yeah, it's just kind of relaxing. And at the end of the day, you kind of feel like if you could be as relaxed as that guy in that painting, you are headed in a good direction, maybe.
Yeah, right. That's that's a great story.
It's also, there's a ton of, it's the use of the painter was great. There's a lot of light in the painting, and it captures it pretty well. And there's also a pretty heavy use of paint, and I like the gaudy frame. It's clearly overdone intentionally. It's not some accident, and it was painted on a piece of wood, and I thought that was kind of nice too. So the overall painting itself kind of has a weight value to it in itself. It's not light when you hang it on the wall. So it's kind of a cool painting.
That's cool. And so, I mean, some of these people watching this thing, you don't know you probably, which would be hard to believe, but they,
Very tough. Very tough.
you're an artist, but you're also a musician, and have probably played in a few bars or a few saloons in your day. So when you sent me that picture of that piece, that was another layer to this whole thing, was
Uh-huh.
that side of your life that probably has a connection to that scene too, right?
Sure, sure. Yeah, when you asked me about this, I've got tons of really nice quality ceramics, wall pieces, and some pretty nice paintings, and a couple recent pieces that I bought. But this particular piece is kind of like the underdog, I feel, and I kind of usually go for the underdogs, and I do think that it holds up just as far as quality. you know, as what we would look at in a gallery or whatever, you know. So it's a pretty interesting piece, and it's also, you know, it's accessible because of the fact that it's not enormous as a painting, you know. So it's sizable enough, you know, that it's not a trinket, but it's also, you know, being about 18 inches, maybe 18 by 20. Pretty nice for a wall. It claims its own space, but it's not overpowering, you know.
Yeah. And it's been nearly 20 years since you
Yeah.
found it. Jesus.
Well, we did yeah, it has been, right? Pretty close. So yeah, it's about the only piece that I've had for that long that I thought was, besides instruments, which, you know, I could say is a piece of art in itself for the people that make them, and then the amount of hours that you spend on them, all of a sudden it kind of comes yours too, you know. Besides, I guess the painting is mine because I look at it every day, but the instrument that, you know, like one of these that we're looking at here on the banjo on the left, you know, was made in 2006, and man, I've played on that more hours than you could ever imagine, you know. So it's kind of like the guy that made it, and mine, you know. So it's, you hold on to it in a different way, I suppose, you know.
Right.
But
Yeah.
looking at the banjo, you know, it doesn't do the same thing for you as this particular painting, I suppose, you know.
Depends on who you're talking to, probably.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. And nobody wants to hear about banjos, you know, so I quickly
No,
avoid
that's a
conversation.
totally different. That's a different program.
I can
Not
tell you
this.
about this banjo if you'd like to.
Well, hey man, it was good to see you. And
Yeah, you
thanks.
too. Thanks for checking in, and it's nice to be part of this.
Well, hope to see you in person someday soon.
All right, man. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
All right. Take care. Cheers.
Yeah.
Stand by.